Someone getting left.
Alrighty, guys, we are back with another episode of the All In Triathlon podcast coming to you from AIT HQ. Do you think we're big enough to say AIT yet, to abbreviate?
Yeah, definitely.
You think?
All in triathlon, AIT.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think we're only 30 episodes in, so I think we may need
50?
50 before we can abbreviate. Yeah,
until we get to All in Triathlon HQ then.
All in Triathlon HQ. You arrived back what, a day ago?
2 days. No, it's Thursday evening. It's now Saturday. I'm starting to struggle. It's 7 p.m. The jet lag is starting to hit. Mainly Sienna not doing well. Like going to Europe, she was fine. Like no jet lag at all. Coming here, like she's living in the night. Like the first night was awake from 12 to 5:30, and last night she woke up at 2:30. So yeah, it's not the easiest. Like she really puts you down with your feet on the ground after Marbella. It's back to normal life.
She brings you back down to earth. But
definitely.
I guess those Q suites were too nice for her. She had some good sleeps on the plane.
She did sleep well in the plane. It took a bit, like, because there's so much going on. Like she doesn't want to sleep, but in the end she accepted that she needed to sleep. So she did do a good nap there.
Nice. Well, we've been back training together today, and I'll try and be your training partner up until you leave for Bahrain and Qatar. So we'll get into that. But we have some special guests joining us today, so we'll jump straight to them. I initially asked if they could come on the podcast after Nice.
Ignored us
when the Norwegians went 1, 2, and 3. And then I thought, well, you know what, I'm going to try again after Marbella. And their response was, there's not many podcast hosts that can beat us. So if you're a podcast out there and you want these guys on your podcast, it's simple. All you have to do is beat them. So it's talking about none other than Casper Stornes and Kristian Blummenfelt. Boys, how you doing? Thank you. I'll start with you, Casper, seeing as you're the Ironman world champion. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you for having me here. But we need to just throw Gustav under the bus straight away. It was he that said we shouldn't join the podcast in the first place. But now he's not in the mix, so then we're joining. So, but yeah, no, just joking. It was busy after Nice, and managed to squeeze in altitude camp before Marbella, and it was nice to finish off strong with the season, and now it's nice to have some off time. So traveling around with sponsors, and now having 2 days in Venice with my fiance, so that's nice. So enjoying life.
Is that a new fiance, or have you guys been to, like, not?
We've been together.
A recent fiance. Sorry, you just got engaged.
We got engaged in February. So no, in January, just before we went to the camp in Nice. So, but yeah, we've been together for 8 years. So yeah.
Is there a date set yet?
No, my sister is going to get married next year. So not
You're on the
before
waiting
that.
list.
Yeah, I'm on the waiting list, so I need to wait. But probably, not so long till it. But yeah, we haven't set a date, so no. Yeah.
And Kristian, you're on day 5 of a 7-day off season. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm good. I guess I'm equally struggling with jet lag as Jelle is doing, because I have no practice to catch. So then
You are horrible, Kristian, when you get time off. Then you are horrible with the rhythm.
It's nothing to wake up for, So like now I just had to wake up until or before 10 o'clock, because then we had a chat. So woke up like 30 minutes ago, but feeling good. One way it was good to wrap up the season with like a good strong race, but it wasn't too busy neither after Nice or after Marbella, because if you win the race, it gets more busy. If you podium, it's a good result, but nothing changes dramatically. So it was.
You could always just jump on a plane to Australia. I think it's pretty quiet for you down here. Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say. Well, the busy thing for me was just the traveling, like, because we did it in stages. Because it's easier with Sienna, like, to have a night in the hotel all the time. So we flew like to Madrid, had a night there. We flew to Doha, had a night there. We flew to Brisbane. but then it just takes long as well. So that makes that these last couple days, like, we're still busy, you know.
Yeah. Kristian, I want to. You said off air. I don't know whether have you announced what race you're doing in a couple of weeks or?
The one in 2 weeks, that's gonna be Cartagena. So
Okay, so
it was like a
is
3
that
weeks window there. So I had like 1 week a little bit easier, and then getting a little bit of training again, going on from Monday on.
so is that considered start of 2026 season, or are you still finishing off 2025?
It's for the winter, like it's neither. Like I will start properly with like a big volume after Cartagena, but it's a bit more like when you're out traveling and meeting all the age groupers. There's so many people from like South America traveling all around the world. So I just wanted to start traveling a little bit more to like to this time Colombia. Maybe next year will be Brazil, but to use the sport to see a little bit more of the world.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so we'll jump into it. I think what we thought we'll do on this podcast is maybe like a brief touch on your seasons, but then I think people want to hear about the actual race from the weekend as well. A bit of a breakdown of how you guys experienced it. So we'll start with you, Casper. Obviously, you were second in the Pro Series, but Ironman world champion, and then finished off with a podium in third place in Marbella 70.3 world champs. I'm guessing a successful year in your eyes, or more than successful. But how do you look at it?
Yeah, but the big focus this year was Nice. So like earlier this season, it was all about like for me getting the most experience as possible for the long distance in Texas and Frankfurt, and had a good progression through the races. And then in Nice I managed to take the victory, so that was very, very nice. I saw Kristian as the favorite, and we're kind of expecting him to take the win there. So I was scratching my head of how I was gonna beat him in that race that day. So, but I felt they were very good prepared, and I just had a good day. So that made me take the win, and also finish off strong in Marbella was very nice. Just showing that it wasn't like a one-time thing in Nice, that I'm also up there and also can perform on the 7.3 distance. So that's very nice to tick that off also. I'm very happy with the season as it is, as it has been, and looking forward to next year already. So yeah.
Do you find it hard when you're obviously training with Kristian and Gustav every day of the year? And as you said, like in your eyes, Kristian was the favorite, and you were like stretching your how to beat him. Like, is it hard training with him, like, and knowing what he can do, and then being at a race knowing that he might be a little bit better shape, I guess?
Yeah, it's like when we were in the pre-camp and in Font-Romeu and everything, he were beating me on basically every session. So like seeing him being so good is also not demotivating, but it also gave me a motivation to like still pushing. But see him or feeling that he's crushing me in every training, it's hard also. But I need to also trust myself that race day is race day, and everything can happen. And just try to do the best as I can to also beat him. But I think we have a very chill and relaxed atmosphere in the group. Like after Frankfurt, Kristian felt he was struggling with the bike. I felt it was okay, and then Kristian is sharing that with me and sharing kind of what he needs to do in a way to win in Nice. And I also think that puts me in a position also to learn from him, and we are going upwards instead of going downwards in performance, and we always give each other advices, and in that way makes each other better. So if Kristian gets better, I get better, and then we are pushing the boundaries in the group. So
I guess that old saying of a rising tide lifts all boats, right? So if one person's lifting up, then the whole squad's eventually probably going to follow suit. But on to you, Kristian. how do you assess your year? Obviously, you are the Ironman Pro Series winner, so it comes with a big paycheck, and podium on the World Championships and the 70.3 Worlds. So, like most, I'm going to say probably 99% of the people would say that's a success for you. Are you the 1% that feels different, or
I would
what do
say
you
it's
think?
it looks better on the paper than what it feels like, because yeah, like we all trained to grab that finish line tape, and as I came into the both of the races as one of the favorites, like in Nice and in Marbella, and then ending up not winning, it's sort of like a failure in one way, but still like a medal. So it's not like the worst race. Like I was in good shape for both of those. So it feels like I'm taking the sort of the third priority of the season, which was the Ironman Pro Series, instead of taking the two titles. And I think in the future, people will remember who won the World Championship titles and not who won the early season races. So yeah, like it's definitely better than what I did in 2024. So in one way, it's nice and good to be back performing in the top and feeling that the body is responding, but also a little bit disappointing with how the two World Championship races was going.
Yeah.
Are
But
you
it, uh,
sorry? Will
but
you
also.
change anything because I guess you were dominating those early season races and then, well, still were good, but like, do you feel like you were too good early in the season or not really?
I felt I had progression throughout the season. So, like I felt I was in good shape going into Nice, very solid on the bike compared to how it was like in Texas and Frankfurt. So I feel still I got like progression during the season, but I was just maybe doing a little bit more mistakes during the races, especially in Nice. So in one way, I felt. I was sort of building into the season well, but it's not like I can only, it's not like I can turn up to the start line and only give myself or give my 95% of my best
Yeah, yeah.
in order to not win early season races. Like I think it doesn't matter if you like as long as I give my best, like if that's a win or fifth place, it's not like I can change that
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
early
Yeah. For
season.
sure. Yeah. And a question. So it was one of your quotes, I think you said, I saw in an interview prior to Nice, and it was something along the lines of, "Am I fit or am I fucked? I guess we'll find out on the weekend." Did you find out what the answer was?
That was actually more a joke because so many people were like commenting about race weight and stuff like that. And
Okay.
then it was more like uh, so that was like a planned Instagram post. Fit or fucked? Let's find out. Sort of
Fair
like
enough.
just throw all the yeah, all the balls in the air and see what's going on the race day.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I felt I was yeah, fit for the race. It's a little bit also like with the mindset of not being afraid of failing on race day too. You know, like just I feel the work has been pretty good going into the race. Now let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't it also this fit or fact? I remember I was listening to Jack Kelly's podcast going like the daily show he did, and he was saying something where like you guys do this week out from the race, this like big brick session which you didn't finish or something. I think
Correct.
that's also maybe part of it.
Yeah, correct. And that's also like I'm not too afraid of posting my sessions on Strava, so it's more like entertaining when people are like, and I'm not afraid of quitting a session either on Strava.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm forcing myself through the key session just because I know that people are watching my sessions. So 2 weeks out from the race, we did like basically the bike course and like 3 by 9K race pace, and I felt super strong. And then the following week, I was maybe coming in with lack of carbohydrates in the meals and was just empty from the gun. And I sort of, you know, when you're hungry after breakfast, when you're starting the session and you have like 8 hours ahead of you on training,
Yeah.
that was one of those days. And I sort of did half of the bike with intensity before I got dropped by Gustav and Casper, and then I just like was riding easy back home to the place or like to our Airbnb, and then had like 2 hours window to sort of refill again and get ready for the run session, and I joined them for maybe 5 or 6K of race pace before I was just like, yeah, feeling absolutely empty. So then I just called it a day.
Yeah,
But
being
the
smart.
downside there is that when you're only having one car, I still have to wait for them to finish another like 20K of running. So I was there sitting in the car for like ages, and yeah, just drinking like water and sports drink. So
Yeah,
but I
fun
don't think
time.
that was impacting too much. It would be more destroying for the race if I was like forcing through and like digging myself into a hole. So it's more like
Yeah.
feeling that I was confident enough with the training that I've done in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. And before we get on to the race, I had just one other question, I think. But so you obviously have left Olav at the start of the year. And Casper, I believe you were with Mikkel. Is that right?
Yeah.
At the start of
Yeah.
the year. So who's actually coaching you guys now? Is it, I've heard like some people say that Kristian's writing it and everyone just does what Kristian says, and or it's a collaborative approach. Like, how does it actually work?
It's collaborative. Like we meet the three of us together and we plan like the training for typically like the next 6 or 8 weeks before going to like a big training camp. So we try to come in with our inputs, but it's also very much based under the coaches that we've worked with in the past. Like all three of us have worked with both Arild Tveiten and Olav Alexander Bu for like the previous 15 years. So
Mm.
a lot of the sort of the principles that we are or want to use in the training is still based on what we learned from them. But I think we felt like the need to maybe take a little bit more like our own sort of touch on it.
Mm.
So we might like have like a same sort of weekly training, and then if Casper feels like he needs to do a little bit of more speed, he can maybe change his session a bit. Maybe join me for the first half, and then he can do like some shorter intervals on the second half of the session, as an example.
Yeah, this happened before Marbella, right? Where I believe Kristian did like some longer reps on the run and Casper more shorter stuff. I stalk you guys on Strava. That's why I know.
Yeah, like yeah, we had like before Nice, we had a kind of strict or not strict, but like we had a very detailed plan for what we were gonna do in altitude, and then after Nice, I felt I needed more like fun-ish with training and not so yeah, it's detailed, but like if we have 70 minutes with intervals on a bike, I did, for example, 5 times 10 and 4 times 5 is then instead of 7 by 10, like just mix it a bit up to don't dig myself in a hole. And then I did 1,000 meters and some 2,000 meters on a run, and Christian did more extensive, like longer, two by a mile. That was Christian's
No, five by
he
a mile.
five
5 by 2 miles.
5 by 2 miles he did,
Two
yeah,
miles.
on the
Yeah.
track, yeah. And yeah, so we did most of the training together, but like it was more, this is probably the camp we had more kind of away from each other, like yeah, we were together but like a bit different sessions, and then Chris and of course had a little bit more volume in general than me and Gustav. I were in the middle, up to 30 hours a week. Christian more towards 35, maybe at the most 36. I don't know how much you had, or did you had 40?
I think I just had 35 for one of them, but
Yeah.
I think the reason for that I did a little bit longer reps was also because in 24 I felt like I did too much just extensive workouts without lifting up the intensity with a little bit easier sessions. So the starting of this year, I did maybe too much of contrast to that. So I did some 1Ks and some 400s in a training, and maybe I was due to that. Maybe I came into Nice with a bit too much like VO2 max. So With that in mind, I was working with a little bit more extensive sessions again as I came up to Sierra Nevada, going into Marbella. And with
Mm.
that in mind, I did very little speed work. So maybe I should have sort of changed my strategy again for the race. If I look back at how much of what sort of track sessions I did going into Marbella versus what track sessions I did going into Nice and the earlier races. So that's also like a learning.
Yeah. Did so how much of it when you're planning out the training before a race like Marbella, are you looking at your competitors and going, I'm assuming you would have known that Jelle was going to be one of your main rivals along with the people you train with and maybe a few others, but how much are you looking at that going, okay, if I want to beat Jelle, for example, I need to do this in training and preparing the training for that, or just worrying about yourself and what you feel like you need to be the best on the day?
I think it's a second there, like because there's so many guys, so you can't really just look out for one athlete. Like if I was just looking at Jelle, then suddenly it would be maybe someone else going away on the bike, and they can get 3 minutes gap, and I can't close them down. It's a little bit like with if Rico Bogen was getting his gap, like then suddenly we are just behind him, and he can still sort of steal the show. So you can sort of look at some athletes, but you can't design your whole training program around it. But of
Yeah.
course, like if I'm constantly being beaten by Yellow on the run, then I will start changing my approach to maybe in case I get into a run battle with him. But then like uh, for a race like this, it's more like you're aware of who is fit, but then it's so much that you can do on the swim, bike, and run in order to put yourself in a good position in T2.
Did you guys look at the course and train it like because Nice and Marbella both had quite a lot of climbing? Do you do some specific stuff in training for that?
Yeah, like we were looking on the course, but we knew that knees maybe were a bit more important to look at in terms of the technical part on the bike. But yeah, we knew it was a lot of climbing, and I were there one time before the race, but I decided to not go down from Sierra. The second and I don't know, was it 3 times you were there, Christian? Two?
No, just two.
Yeah. Yeah, just two. So I decided to not go down the last time since I got so bad stomach going in a car for 2.5 hours and then go back and the whole day is going in traveling. So I felt like it, yeah, I felt it was just up and down kind of and not so much technical. So I felt I saw the most important part of the course the first time. And I got a little bit more impressed that the run was more hard than I thought. I thought it was more flat. But yeah, we did look at the course, but of course we didn't felt it was so important as in Nice where we were there in January for 4 weeks and pre-Nice 3 weeks. So yeah, it was just one time I was there, and yeah, Kristian maybe felt a bit more need to go down and see the course. I think, but
For,
yeah,
yeah, for those who
and
doesn't
do
have
the
Spain, the Spanish map in your head, like we were staying in Sierra Nevada, so 2.5 hours away from Marbella in the car. So like 3 weeks out, we drove in the early morning down to Marbella and did like the whole bike course. And then a run session off the bike. And then the second weekend, they skipped doing this travel. And I took the trip down with Jackson Laundry to have a look at the course. But it was less technical than expected, and it was more like rolling downhills. So maybe the learnings I did from having been through the course were that having a 58 tooth front ring wouldn't be enough or ideal. So I tried to get after having been in the course like 2 weeks before the race, I tried to get a hold on a 2 by with a 62 in the front ring. But yeah, the timeline didn't really line up, so it didn't arrive before race day. So I decided that the day before the race to put on a 61 by instead, as I looked through the sort of the sessions I've done and looked at the cadence I've been ridden when I did like intervals up, that it would be fine. It would be basically the same cadence as I've been doing when I'm doing like threshold work up the hill. So then I went for one by and hoped that would give me enough light enough gear for the uphill, and it worked, I would say.
Yeah. And onto the swim or onto the race especially, but more so the swim. Is it about where you guys expected, Casper? Did you expect to be around about there, or hoping to be a little bit further up, or is that around where you thought?
I were expecting to be the first group. Yeah, like I think I were like 1 or 2 body lengths from the first guy up of the water, so it was quite tight between the guys there. So yeah, I think Sebastian were the second guy up of the water. Like I know Kociani got a gap, but that I didn't saw at all in the swim. So, but I don't think it had so much to say like one guy get away. If it had been Rico going away, then it would be something different. But yeah, I we're expecting to be around there, but I felt so bad for the whole swim. I was just looking forward to get up of the water. I think in general, I had a maybe bad day after the altitude. I don't know why. So I just felt flat for the whole day, or flat, I can't say, but like tired kind of. But I was just looking forward to get to the bike, but I didn't feel better there either. So yeah, it didn't help.
I would say the swim was crap-ish. Like I was like up in front, and I could see Magnus Ditlev's swim cap maybe 15 meters in front of me, and I knew, okay, I have to at least bridge up to him in order to be safe on the bike. And I wasn't able to bridge up, so not the best swim, but luckily I managed to have a quick T1, so I was just next to him, jumping on the bike, and then like 10 seconds later I saw Jelle down in the tarmac, and I thought, oops, that's not an ideal place to be hanging around, but I also realized that you also swam quicker than me. But then my bike legs felt pretty good. Like it was cold, so I was able to sort of just enjoy pushing power in a fresh air. So I was, even though I was maybe 45 seconds down, I felt like was quite easily able to bridge up to the front guys and catch those 45 seconds before we started the main climb. And I felt pretty good there. And I saw Casper also early on the bike there. That's
Yeah,
one thing I
I
noticed early. Like you came around quite early after your crash. So then I thought, okay, you're still riding quite well, I was thinking.
well, I got too close. I got in the red, so I was like, I better overtake because I didn't want to take any chances. But actually, when I got up, as you were the one I was behind, and that was actually quite motivating for me, knowing that like, okay, at least Christian is still here as well. But then you did go up that first punch. You overtook a lot of people there and went quite a bit quicker than me. It took me like almost half of the climb to the first climb to like close the gap to you. Like you really had a quick start on the bike. It
Yeah,
was quite
I was
impressive.
checking through the power, and I saw like for the first 70 seconds of the climb, I did like 499. So because you want to overtake as many as possible in the climb, because you know when you're getting onto like the flat section again, it's getting harder again, and the field gets stretched out. So I try to do like uh, as quickly as possible and just hammer it up to the front.
What was your thoughts when you saw both of you guys, when you saw Jelle on the ground? Did you think that his day was done then, or do you just in a race you just you see it, you move on, and then you just keep worrying about yourself?
You sort of move on, and because like yes, you can have some athletes you're like looking at in the race, but there are still maybe 10, 15 guys who can sort of be a potential threat for the win. So he was the main guy, but he sort of you sort of move on. But then when he passed me again on the bike and I saw that he was riding well, then I thought that he's still in the race.
Hmm.
And Casper said,
Yeah, Casper, when you passed me, even already when I was laying on the ground, you shouted something, and then also when I passed you on the climb and you asked me how I went or something, I said something about my rear derail, and you like gave me advice how to attack this problem, and I'm like, yeah, it was very nice of you, I must say. Like I feel like
Yeah,
you wanted to race me, no? Like you wanted me to be there in the race.
yeah, like of course, maybe now afterwards, no, it's not that I don't want you to win, but it's more like I felt a bit bad for maybe giving that advice since Kristian lost the sprint. So maybe the race would have been different, but of course, you showed that you were the best of the day. So yeah, and it also, if I had been in the situation, like if I had been in a sprint to you, I would kind of I could have put myself in a bad position, but like, yeah, I just wonder how you were doing when you came past, and then yeah, gave you the advice. But yeah, so so
good guy.
yeah,
Good guy.
yeah, thank you.
Christian might be a bit angry, but you
Nah,
guys
like
figure it out.
like he could have like he was still like could also win, like race for the win. So it's not like he knew that there would just be between you and me. Like he gave the advice, even though it could be a sprint finish between the two of you. So
Yeah, for sure.
What power did you guys ride up the climb, the main climb?
370 or something,
Okay.
I think.
And
yeah, I
was-
think like 401 and 390 or something in the second one, I think.
about what you
Would-
were expecting?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Because when it's so steep, like you just want A, because it's so early in the race and it's like 40 guys probably who's like in that neighborhood, you sort of have to push a bit extra to be on the right side of the split. And I think that was almost where Casper ended up on the wrong side when we came over the top, and Magnus Ditlev started pushing on in the front, and then you had like we were like 5 guys, I think, in the beginning. I think you were there, Jelle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I was
Rico
there.
Bogen was in front, and Jonas and Jimmy Riddle, and then you also have like the drag from the motorbikes who was like filming around. So even though you're not like first in the group, you have like maybe 3 motorbikes next to the group, so you're still getting this like sucked along. And for the first couple of minutes, Casper and Simon Westermann wasn't there.
Yeah.
Is it on the way up on the first or on the way back?
No, that's on the first. After the top, you were rolling down again.
Yeah, I think Simon was in the group, but I were a little bit further back, and then I saw Tyler Reed was struggling and losing the group. So then I went past, and then I went up to Miguel, I think, and Vince. And after the top, I went past them since I saw Miguel were dropping the group, or to Simon. And then I went past him, and then I managed to kind of get up. But then I felt people were kind of dropping also all the way, so I needed to close gaps all the way until the turnaround all the way to the bottom. Then Bitados was sprinting past me out of the turnaround. And I was like, okay, maybe he wants to go and be on Christian wheels. It's okay for me. But like then he suddenly dropped Christian's wheel. I was like, are you serious? You just sprint up to just lose the wheel. So then when I rode past him, I was like, why do you sprint past me and then lose the wheel?
Yeah.
So and then I thought they were gone, but like I managed to get up afterwards, and Simon also was struggling a little bit at that point. So I kind of dragged him with me up, and from there on it was quite okay the last 20 minutes up the hill. So then I felt they were quite comfortable, and when we came to the downhill, it was quite nice, except of Jonas blocking a bit with one motorbike in front of him and one in behind, and then he went all to the left in the road. So I couldn't like go on the inside. That's not okay. So yeah, but then yeah, I didn't manage to take so many spots there, but it's okay.
In that moment, Casper, when you saw the gaps starting to form, starting to create to the people in front of you, were you worried that you might not be able to close it, or were you still feeling fairly strong and comfortable that you could still close the gaps?
I felt bad for the whole day on the bike, so it didn't help either. But I didn't felt like I were getting the hammer or something. I could push through still if it was like not comfortable. So, but I were also calculating, okay, it's not so far to the top. I can ride, if I'm alone, I can ride a bit faster, maybe downhill. And it's limited of how much I can lose uphill. So, but I saw when if everyone went up in the hoods in the uphill and I stayed in the aero position, I gained time into the hill, and then I just stayed in the aero position and got up. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like with this course where you often have like the fast down and it often kicks up, like it all bunches together a bit more again, and then the downhill stretches out a bit. And because I had sometimes like those fast downhills, I struggled a bit, mainly when like one of the bigger guys were in front, but then always on the uphill, like you would like close the gap again. And yeah, once I feel like once the group was established, it was like a bit set, like it was not easy to drop people anymore. Also, probably because of the
Oh.
motorbikes and stuff that were like next to us always. Yeah, I felt like it stayed a bit how it was after basically the first climb, no?
And
Yeah,
if you're
we're
getting dropped,
surprised.
if you're getting
Yeah.
dropped, then you're like ninth position, and the group of 8 gets away. Then you're getting a motorbike that goes behind to film from
Yeah.
behind, and then
I saw
suddenly
it.
you get like an easy way back up again.
I saw that happen to you. Was that tactical, Kristian, a couple of times, or were you? Well, I guess that's not my main question, but you were sort of on and off the back a little bit. Are you tactically doing that to not surge and just try and keep a bit more steady state, or were you actually hurting a little bit at times?
I think it's a more combination of being bad at staying at like 13, 40 meters and being like good to be safe there, with a combination of I try to not like to avoid a little bit of that acceleration and the accelerations with the hills. So like if I saw there were a bigger hill in front, I try to create a bit more of the momentum going into the group. But then the risk is again that someone from behind will then go around you and sort of tighten or close that gap again. But I wasn't cooked. It was maybe more. Yeah, I'm not too good at staying safe at 15 meters, especially with like a rolling terrain.
Yeah. Well, it is a bit always like you don't want to create the yo-yo a bit too much where you come too close and have to like stop pedaling and then you lose and then have to accelerate. Like you don't want this, right? Like you want to have more of a steady effort, I guess, rather than these spikes because you lose too much energy. So, but then yeah, it does make it hard when you, yeah, I guess lose too much. It is like I find this coming from short course like a bit hard because you want to stay as close as possible, but then when you go in the red, you also have to overtake. So you gotta like, yeah, I feel like stay in the yellow, no, like on the race ranger. That's like a bit the same. And when it's blue, like slowly start to slow down a little bit to get back in the yellow. It's like an art.
Yeah,
But it's
I think
definitely crucial to have it on like the system when you're racing. So many guys coming up from short course. I think it's really important that we have this system now that can like really tell you if you are at 14 or 12 meters and make it for fair racing.
Yeah, for sure. I found when Race Ranger first came in that it was it created a lot more surges though, because people would hunt the lights, so they'd see the lights starting to get away from them, and they'd surge up to get to where they want to go. And then if you're in a group, that causes a big concertina. So there was like I found it was the racing was far more surging when we had Race Ranger. I think people are starting to realize and recognize a bit better on how to ride with it, and that you don't have to if it goes from 14 meters to 17 meters, you don't have to instantly try and get back into the zone you want to be in. But yeah, I think it has changed the way the riding is a little bit with the bit more sarcastic nature of how you ride. So getting to the end of the bike now, did Casper, you said your legs were pretty fried the entire bike, and you said you weren't feeling good in the swim. So I imagine you starting the run, you weren't full of confidence that you're on for a good day to be able to fight for the win. I'm assuming. Is that how you're feeling, or did you think maybe you'll get to the run and it would be fine then?
I thought that maybe had been maybe overcooked me a bit since I went so much up and down on the bike and needed to close gaps. So going into transition, I felt not so good jumping off the bike, and just needed to get the legs rolling. So when I started, the first lap were horrible. Like I felt I never find the rhythm, and just hoped that I didn't got. I was thinking about Oceanside 2.0, that I felt kind of the same, but we're hoping that I weren't going to get the hammer at 4K, and then needed to walk. But yeah, then I started to loosen up a bit, and I catched up on us. Of course, when I went out of transition, I saw Jelle, so I thought maybe I could run up to him. And then I saw he were kind of shaking his head at the turnaround after the bridge. And then I thought, oh, maybe he's hurting after the crash. So then I thought, oh, he is probably out. But then I saw he were just running fast and bridged the gap to Kristian. So I was like, okay, I think he's feeling good again. So yeah, when I came up to Jonas, I didn't felt the need of or it was maybe more a bit tactical. I didn't want to go too early to get the hammer probably. But then when I bridged away from him, it just answered some good in the legs, and I felt I could run fast. And then I saw I gained time on Jelle and Kristian, and then I was like, okay, maybe we can get up here. But I knew if I had been running hard and you guys had been looking at each other, you could just look at me and then run away with a sprint with 1K to go. So I was like, yeah, thinking like I can get up, but it's maybe more for the television, like, oh, he's getting up, but then you're dropping me. So yeah, maybe I should have gone a bit earlier, just gone past Jonas and came up a little bit earlier, then I could have had a chance. But like, still, you guys were running Kristian 40 seconds fast or 50 seconds faster, and you Jelle 1 minute. So like, I don't think I could have done so much damage. But like, yeah, it felt good to like the body was responding in the end, and I think it was nice to. It was fun chasing you guys, but I knew you were looking at each other. So when I saw at the last out and back section on the pier there, then I saw, okay, I'm completely out of it, and then I started to shout at Kristian that he needs to go. Now we need to go.
I
like,
thought you shouted at me.
no, yeah, like no, I was shouting at Kristian since I know how much he wanted this, and I know he's yeah. But I know how good he is in a long sprint, and like I was just like trying to, if it could help to motivate in some way, to just shout at him that now you need to go. So yeah, but yeah, I were happy to keep off Jonas, and yeah, it was fun in the last lap. I felt so, yeah, better than expected.
What did you actually shout to him in Norwegian?
I said, "No går du, Kristian." That's like, now we need to go, Kristian.
Okay.
So yeah, we have it like the coaches always says, "No går du." That's like, now you go. So yeah, all the coaches says that, and yeah, it's a thing. So
okay.
Yeah.
Before we get to you, Kristian, I know you guys aren't watching. Have you put the T100 on? We have to bring this up right now. So for those listening, this is obviously going to come out after the T100's on, but it's on right now. And we've just found out a way of how to beat Hayden Wild. He's done 9 laps on the bike instead of 8. So he was leading. He's gone out. He's gone and done another lap.
Took Matisse and Marten with him.
Yeah, took Matisse, Magier, and Martin.
Oh.
And now Sam Dickinson, who was in third, is now fourth. He's now running in first. So
Okay.
there we go. We found a way of how to beat Hayden Wild.
Just
Didn't he do the same in Toulouse? In Toulouse, didn't he do the same with Leo? Yeah.
Super League, no?
Yeah.
Counting not
He
his
just-
strength.
He just
So
loves to ride an extra lap.
Is this a penalty when they finish the 9th lap?
Yeah,
want-
I gotta know.
This
Getting off
dismount,
course.
yeah, dismount penalty. Like he was riding over the dismount line.
Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
That's what happened to Vince as well. Do you remember in Leeds he rode
Yeah.
through and he got a penalty because he he didn't dismount before the line. It'll be actually interesting to see how far Hayden can actually run up now, because I don't know how much he's doing. That they're still
Well,
out on the
if they're doing a full lap, it's like 10 minutes, no?
yeah, but he normally, unless you're there, he wins by like 3 or 4, so he could still run up to maybe close to podium. But anyway, I guess we'll see as the race unfolds. Kristian, so maybe Jelle, you've got some questions for him on the run, but you got out onto the run early, and Jelle had a bit of a bad transition, and you're at the front, and I saw you could see that you at the U-turn. You had to look back to see where Jelle was, or not just Jelle, obviously, just to see where everyone was. But you saw you would have had a gap on Jelle and Casper and a few others. Did you think then, all right, keep the pressure on and make it hard for him to catch, or what were you thinking?
Keep it steady, but not like I could either like try to make it very hard for him to catch up, like go straight into like sort of my limits. But then I thought then I'm sort of risking it too much myself. So I was more like try to just keep it steady and let's see, like make Jelle work for as long as possible to catch up. But he came up quite early after like 2.5 Ks, because also came in straight into the headwind section. So I wanted Jonas to take the lead there as well, because he came up and he is often quite motivated to be in the front in the first couple of Ks. So, but yeah, like because if I would try to take advantage of the quick transition, it would maybe put myself in like a position where I would be hunted down for 21K, and I didn't want to be there. But then,
Yeah. Jonas actually, because he even transitioned after me and he ran past me like like if it was a 5K race, like typical Jonas style.
yeah. And then straight after, when we went off the beach into the first uphill, then you put in your first surge, and that was like where the separation came from you and me and the rest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
from there on, it was
I was thinking, because I caught you guys like fairly quickly. I was like, I just better just try. But yeah, I could drop everyone except you, Kristian, and that was for quite a while on this run like this.
yeah. So, and I guess also the uphills. If you look at how you ran in, was it like Las Vegas last year, where you dropped Martin in every uphill and then he caught you in every downhill. But I guess the uphills here wasn't really long enough to do any damage, really. Like it was more like sort of just,
Yeah.
too short, I guess. So you did open up a few meters in some of the climbs, but then I was sort of able to bridge back up again on the flat sections. But then I think again, when you're going through a race, like if I didn't change it, like it's not necessarily would change the outcome of the race, because like he was still strong in the end. But of course, like in the race, I was thinking that okay, I'm going to go with like 1.5K to go. Would be nice to go a little bit earlier, but that was like the headwind section out on the pier. So then that was also like sort of putting like a nice point of where I could go sort of make my move on the course. But looking back, I think I just went too late, because when I looked through the training data, or like the training peaks data, I think the average pace for the last 5 minutes was only like 2:55 or something, but just under 3-minute pace. And I would expect to run quicker than that for the final 5K, but I just didn't have it in me. So if I knew that I only had like a sub 3-minute pace, then I would feel like I would be forced to go earlier. So it's maybe a little bit like mismatch between what I thought I could produce and what I actually produced.
Yeah, I was thinking like at one point I like in my mind I was okay, I won't be able to drop him, like, and I was expecting your attack, and I remember from the race you did in Aix-en-Provence, I think you went with what, like 5-6K to go. So
Yeah.
I was expecting like an attack there, and when it didn't come, I was like, oh, maybe he's not feeling good, you know? Like your mind goes thinking, and yeah. Then when the attack came at 1.5K to go, I also thought like there I got more confident because actually it didn't feel so quick. Well, it was quick, like we're running sub 3 minute case, like you say, but I felt still good. And
Yeah.
I remember from Yokohama, like I guess we both had this race in our mind. I remember there, like you went, and I just was like, oh, what the hell is this? You know, like he was breathing down my like breathing like a maniac before, like. So I guess that race helped me a bit in this race, but yeah, then it came in the end. It went down to the final sprint. And did you have in your mind as well, like want to be first at the U-turn? Like I guess that was quite a crucial point because it
Yeah.
wasn't so long anymore.
Yeah, I think both, but then you were sort of the first one to sort of really accelerate when you passed me, and I was able to sort of respond a little bit. But I guess just in pure leg speed, you are quicker than me, like
Mhm.
over a 200-meter sprint. So I felt like you were able to sort of respond nicely there. So you still had like the inside line, and I sort of tried to give a second try. But then I heard you said like you did like the cyclocross move in the. So when you did the cyclocross move, I felt okay, this is a pace I can be comfortable with. But when you accelerated out of the corner, I was just when the gap opens up, then yeah, I realized
Yeah.
that this is not gonna be my race, unfortunately. So yeah.
I know you sort of touched on it a little bit there that you might have gone a bit earlier, like had you known in hindsight. But do you and this might be a little bit tough to answer, but do you think on the day, regardless of what you've done, like do you think you could have done something different and had a different outcome, or do you just think that on the day Jelle was too strong, and regardless he would have had an answer for anything you threw at him?
He could have been still too strong, but I think I could have put pressure on earlier. But again, like he could still be too strong.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I guess that those questions is something you will never get the answer
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you'll have to. Well, do you have any more questions on the race, or do we go on to a little bit of plans for next year?
No, I think yeah.
Covered it. So,
Yeah.
what are Casper, Kristian? What are your plans for next year? Do you know yet?
We've been talking a little bit about it, going to New Zealand, Australia, and then also maybe Oceanside and Texas to be done with races early on. So
And take
yeah,
holidays.
yeah,
But then
holidays
you know,
and could
then you have couple months.
yeah, but yeah, maybe Christian and Gustav is gonna do some other races, long
Yeah.
distance, and then yeah, I am maybe not gonna do that race, and maybe I'm gonna do more for the Pro Series. I don't know. Like we haven't planned like the mid season, and yeah, but we are thinking about maybe going for altitude before Nice, and then do the Nice World Champs, and then go straight to Hawaii.
Kona.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, just go, Christian.
no, but so it's like ticking off the points early in this Pro Series. And last year we did the first Ironman in like April. Now we can be done with 2 Ironmans by April. So that gives us like a bigger window to sort of target again Hawaii and Nice.
And
Yeah.
any T100 races, or you still wait for that calendar?
Not it's not planned yet. I guess I will not do any T100 because they're also, in order to make sense, you have to do a little bit like more races and not just
Mhm.
do 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So you guys, planning again to go for the Pro Series.
No.
I guess that
Or
paycheck you
no,
wanted again.
it's more the World Championship, but then the Pro Series comes
Yeah.
along.
Yeah,
You feel
it's a
like
bit. It's a build up, kind
it's
of.
okay to do 3 Ironmans. Like you don't think it like with two it's better a year? No.
No, like it depends how much like I'm tapering going into New Zealand. Like yeah, I think it can be fine to do just sort of race through it without the Like just the recovery from the races I did early in the season, I felt wasn't too hard. Like it was worse with knees when I got sick afterwards. So the take on the body, I feel, is not that massive.
But we also had a good period between the races, so it hasn't been
Yeah,
too
yeah.
bad. So we have been able to have the first week like kind of resting and then get into training again. And I think the season plan as it's been now has been good for getting in enough volume and training between the races, so you're not losing anything.
Yeah. And do you have any plans on going back to short course, Casper? Or are you done with that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. No, we were planning to do Rome, but then we decided to not do, me and Kristian. So so we were actually planning of it, and but then we decided to no, we rather go on altitude camp and be a bit home when we can, and then so
Yeah.
I
What
don't know
about
with
you,
you,
Chris?
Kristian.
It was more that we got to know before or the race week of Nice, and they gave us the final no that they. Yes, we wanted to get like an agreement because when you're racing World Triathlon, you need an agreement with your federation. So
Oh yeah.
before Nice, we sort of realized that that's not going to happen. So now the sort of
So
dream of going back
your
to
federation stopped you from racing Rome.
you need a contract with the federation in order, or at least in Norway, and for them to put us on the start list or to let us race because it's under their umbrella.
Okay. Right.
So we wanted to have like an agreement that could give us opportunities until LA, but we didn't end there in the end. So now it's more Ironman for the future.
I'm sure Australia could take you. I'm sure we could figure something out. We would
Yeah,
happily.
I just spoke to Kenji. He was recommending it.
Well, we'll take Kenji back as well. Don't worry. We're welcoming in Australia, open arms. Well, no, thank you for your time. I think we pretty much covered off everything we wanted to talk about there. Congrats both on an epic year. It's been pretty awesome to sit and watch and witness it from the sidelines. And all the best in Cartagena.
I haven't said it. Congrats winning career, Aaron. I
Yeah,
just saw your
congrats.
retirement. It's
Thanks.
He's already thinking about his comeback.
My comeback. Yeah. I feel like I've
And-
trained more now in retirement in my off season than I normally do in an off season. So, but no, thanks guys. It was fun sharing a race course with you guys for, well, it's probably, I don't know, Kristian, maybe 10, 15 years and, well, maybe at least 10, I reckon 10 years. And Casper maybe a little bit less, but similar. So yeah, it's been good. But thanks for joining us, and all the best for the upcoming. Well, enjoy your off season or the rest of it, Casper, and enjoy Cartagena or however you say. How do you say it? Cartagena, whatever the race is that you're doing.
Cartagena.
Yeah, we might see you guys down under then, beginning of next year.
Yep.
Yes.
See ya. Aussie.